All right, singer-songwriter Kenny Lattimore released his 7th studio album, Vulnerable, on Friday. It's in stores and available online. He stopped by NewsOne Now while recently in D.C. on tour, and we talked about Vulnerable and the business of being an independent artist. Of course, last week we brought you part 1 of our conversation. Here's part 2 and a clip from his new video, Push.
I'll admit that I was wrong. You deserve better, babe. No doubt that I was meant for you. All the time I spent with you, babe. Now don't mean a thing, no. What is done, we can't get it back. We can fight and fight and fight.
In order for you to lead effectively, it's interesting standing in a position of understanding what every single person does. I'm sitting there dealing with artwork and technology on another level than I've ever had to before.
And has it caused you to go, man, I wish I was this involved?
Yeah, in the beginning.
Even with the label.
Yeah, and in a way I was, but I didn't know what I was doing. And it wasn't like anybody came in and they nurtured. It was through the experience you kind of sit back and you go, oh, okay, this is what happened when we did the first album, this is what we did on the second album. But what's great is when somebody can kind of take you under their wing and really lay it out. I felt like I probably should have been writing a book the whole time and just laying it out so that I'd have a manual to give to other independent artists, and I probably still can do that.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, just a couple of questions. Have you also going through this process and understanding, again, all these different pieces, has it caused you to also know when to make it clear, no, I know exactly where I'm trying to go. And you might not see it, and that's fine. And you might think I should go over here and make more money.
Yeah.
But I see something you don't see.
Yeah. Definitely, I think all artists have that, but we just have to be really careful, because when you're communicating that and understanding that you're leading a staff, you've got to make sure that your vision is articulated properly and that you're able to motivate people with an understanding. When we were doing Push, as a matter of fact, it didn't have to be the first single. You've got all these choices and things, but I had to look at my brand and I had to say, look, you guys may know that your job is to put the album cover together. Your job is to put a certain plan together for the video or what have you, but I'm in front of my audience all the time when you're not. I know who they are, I know their faces, I know their age groups, demographics. Some of the numbers and the research tell you most of the picture, but then there are details that I live out every day that I have to bring my expertise to from being the artist. And when you get in there and you figure out a way to articulate that and stimulate everybody, it explodes with excitement. Then there are times when sometimes you have that excitement and it still doesn't pan out exactly the way you want. I make sure that people are at my live concerts. I make sure they understand the total brand so that it doesn't become just a numbers game again.
So in this whole new thing, when did it hit you where you had to be the one who said, you don't get it, you don't see it, and you're resisting it, it's time for you to go?
Oh, I'm that guy, especially with management and all of that. I know a lot of times people will say, oh, well, artists always blame managers for things. I never blamed managers, but just what you said, I go, we're not on the same page. And a lot of times people
get away from management.
Okay.
People who are underneath you. Somebody who's a nice person, somebody who you like, but they just don't get your vision, and they're getting in the way of your vision.
Yeah, you got to.
And now you have to see. This is no longer I can call the management to bounce them.
Got you.
This is now you.
It's me. Yeah. And it's tricky, but I think I'm very diplomatic. Somehow I've learned to be diplomatic over all these people, but I also surround myself with other people that I consider great. Sometimes I will go to some of my creative people, because I have my secret team, and then I have my regular team that I deal with that are part of. So
your secret team is what Napoleon Hill called having a mastermind group.
Absolutely, and those people definitely have my vision and all that. They may not be people I can hire.
Got it.
But they may be super experts in their field. So what I do is I'll go to them sometimes and I'll say, hey, this person's off. I'm going to need to replace them. can you help me to take care of whatever they needed to take care of? And then I let them, and being diplomatic, I'll go to them and I'll say, hey, the vision is closer to this right here. This is what I need you to look at. I've had designers and people, even on this project, with all respect, I've had some people who have worked with me for years, my secret team, that I have to come in and I have to say, hey, look at what they did right here and let's analyze that and go in this direction. And they teach me how to articulate it to my team. And if I have to let somebody go or not use their idea, I can tell them in such a way that we're talking on the same level. It's not like, oh, he's an artist, he doesn't even know. It's like, no, did you go and look at, I can talk to them in technical terms and they know that I know what I'm talking about.
Vulnerable, it drops, a new single is pushed. Kenny, always good to see you.
Always good to see you. Thank you for having me.
Weekdays on TV One.
I will never lie to you.
Oh my God.
Roland Martin.
He doesn't want to talk to us. He wants to ignore us.
Uncensored.
Hell no. That ain't gonna cut it, boo.
Unapologetic.
No, that is fundamentally false. You are wrong.
Unfiltered.
He wants an America where we all look alike. He ain't talking about black people.
Unrelenting.
You better go work out, because you got a fight on your hands.
NewsOne Now with Roland Martin. Weekdays at 7 a.m. on TV One.